supply chain ultimately is trying to predict that as best as possible, but we understand that invoices are hitting, and that's when they're finding out. So technically, the distributor, if they're buying from an overseas supplier, the value of that product is not understood until it lands in the U.S. So it's not when it's manufactured overseas. It's not when it gets on the boat. It's not the 30 days across the ocean from wherever it's coming from. It's when it lands in the U.S. that ultimately that's how the tariff is attributed to it. And so you're finding out at that point, and then ultimately that is being passed on in some form or fashion down to the dealer level. But the distributor doesn't know it until it hits the U.S., and then maybe it's not until the invoice comes to the dealer is when they're ultimately find out what their true cost of that product is. So you can imagine, back up, you're working on a deal that's 60 days from now before you think that deal is actually going to land. You're trying to package an attachment, you're trying to package the skid steer with it, mini skid steer, mini X, whatever it might be, and you're going to your supply chain that might be using an overseas supplier like that. How do you predict that? How does the distributor necessarily predict what that price is going to be? And it could be a matter of winning or losing the entire package, but if you can't predict even what your total cost structure is going to be, now you're trying to pad that. You're going to try to throw in a little extra fluff on top of it to understand. That's pretty tough to be able to do.